My company is Black Series Edition LLC. As I told you before, one of the things I don't like when it comes to fake screen paint products out there in the market are people who basically spend their time scamming people at the end of the day. We have a fellow by the name of Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, who also goes by Crow1176 for his screen paint mixes he has on his website. And we're going to ask him some questions about his products and see if he knows what he's talking about. Now, keep in mind, in one of the live streams we did, basically, he thought our screen was basically 110 inches. Here we have right here. And I'm basically stating that our screen is 110 inches. I asked him, what size do you think my screen is? And he thought my screen was 110 inches. So I'm going to show you the conversation right here. Our screen in the front room is about 150 inches, but he literally thought the screen was 110, and he thought the screen we have next to us over here is 90 inches. So clearly you can see that he doesn't know much about math. His measurements are completely off. Not only that, basically we showed you videos of him basically in those demonstrations. We talked to him about, well, actually not talk to him about, he doesn't know how many quarts goes into a gallon, clearly stating that 2 quarts go into a gallon. That's what he claimed in the video. As you watched it, that was him on the video. Now we're going to ask him some questions about his products, because there's a lot of weird stuff going on his website. There is shipping information missing. There's one thing saying one thing is the next. Screen size measurements are not adding up. It says one thing in the shopping cart. You go to another place, it says something else. In one area, he says that his product is 2,200 lumens and up. It says 2,000 lumens and up in another place. It's just a whole lot of craziness going on the site. So we're going to ask him some questions. So questions we're going to ask first is, what is the difference between the color in your screen paints? Let me see. We got this. What is the difference and the colors in your screen paint? See if you can answer some of these questions, because we have gunmetal 3 times on his site. They all can't be gunmetal. There's got to be a difference. So keep in mind, gunmetal is an extremely dark screen. He can't have a, no, it's just not going to work. What's the difference? All right, so let's ask that question. Now keep in mind, we are going to be met with a lot of insults. This is asking them professionally. What's the difference? We're going to be met with a lot of insults, a lot of nastiness, because that's usually how Jamie kind of carries himself. So let's see what we got going on here. Let's send this message through right now. He even says that our size is fake. Our screen size is fake. Hold on, let me show you this real quick. You got to see some of this stuff he has written down here. The size is fake. So he's saying that in his head, that giant screen we have in the next room, which is 150 inch, he believes it's 110. I told you, psychiatric evaluation, delusion of grandeur, can't have a grasp on reality. That's never good. Any customer at the end of the day, whether he or she is a professional field or not, can tell and look at that screen and show it's not 110 inches. So there's something wrong there. All right, let's go in there and let's ask him, see if we can get some answers here. All right, so we're asking Jamie, what is the difference in the color and your screen paints? All right. Let's see what he responds back by saying. Now we're going to ask some questions that he doesn't have on a specification sheet. As in tests he should have done. Can he answer these questions back? Because we get questioned all the time on our products, and that's why we have these tests done, so that way we know how to basically talk to people at the end of the day when they come to ask about this and that, and so we can back our products up. So we're going to ask him as if I'm a customer buying from him. I want to know this from the door. And let's see if he can respond back. Let's write in a hello. Let's see, we put down, you there? Seems like Jamie's not responding back at all, period. because he doesn't know anything about his products. All right, let's ask him another question. He'll get to that one. Let me see. Let's see. Let's ask a question. What is the distance throw on your product in a fully lit environment? Now, we know about this because we have a projector called a Sony VPO FH31, which has a special lens, which allows us to do a distance throw on that projector. We also do distance throws at 1,000 lumens. So what is a distance throw on your projector in a fully lit environment? Question I'm going to ask him right now. Now, if I'm a customer and I'm asking him these questions, how is he going to be to answer me back? Do you have these tests? Can you show me these tests? What is the lowest amount of lumens you can do? What is the comparison against certified screens at a distance throw? We'll wait a while, give him a chance to answer. I got to answer question. Ultra short throw, what is the narrow viewing comb effect? Now keep in mind, all screen paints can pick up on ultra short throw. Problem you have is which ones can produce better color and contrast. That's what you're going to be facing. And how do they compare to certifies, like Cillian light projection technology and so forth? I ain't asked him the hard stuff yet. I can break it down in quarts just when it gets really crazy. I actually did one for him, actually, and broke it down in ounces to see if he knew. He didn't really respond back. All right. Hello, are you there? Now, see, Jamie, at the end of the day, you know, I can basically back up 100% you don't know what you're doing. But not anymore is my mind versus yours. I would crush you. I can ask you questions because I've done all these tests already. I can ask you anything I want at the end of the day, and you can ask what I want. I have a video demonstration to back up everything I have done. Now I'm asking you. Because again, this is what the consumer needs to know, needs to ask. I ain't got to the hard ones yet. Giving him a chance to answer. I don't want it to look like we're rushing him. We're giving him a chance to answer and respond back. What is the distance throw on your product on a fully lit environment? How far can that projector sit back before the image starts to deteriorate on your surface? All right, let's get into some crazy stuff here. All right, let's ask him narrow viewing comb effect. Viewing comb effect on ultra short throws. Let's see. Does your screen paint suffer from a narrow viewing comb effect? Viewing comb. Does your screen paint suffer from a narrow viewing comb effect? You see that right there? That's our video on narrow viewing comb effect demonstrations right there. We've already did it already. Anything I pull up really in the video is going to pop up. That's a bit of a trick question, the narrow viewing comb effect. Because only a couple of screens, they suffer from that. So it's a yes or no kind of a question there. Well, these are what people are going to ask you. Does your screen suffer from a narrow? It should be narrow, not now. Narrow. Better.
Here's the definition of narrow, especially of something that is considerably longer or higher than it is wide of small width.
Now, if you're claiming that your product works on venue projectors, there's a list of things I can ask you on venue projectors that you should automatically know. Because you can't claim your product to work on a venue projector if you don't know anything about them. Does your screen paint suffer from narrow viewing comb effect? That's a yes or no on that one. We'll give them a yes or no. We'll give him some time to answer. Okay. What's the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw will your screen activate? What's the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw will? Distance throw. Let's see, will your screen. So we do these on the 1000 lumen projector. We need to know how far we can pull back before the screen starts having issues. This is really important. Okay, lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw will your screen. What's the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw? Will your screen activate? That your screen will activate. No. Will your screen activate? Throw. Let's see. Distance throw. Be nice on that one. Oh, it's sideways on my keyboard here. That your screen, and then it should be screen will activate. All right. I'm also going to ask questions like how many projectors have your screen paints been tested on? How many different versions of ultra short throw demonstrations? If you can provide that. At the end of the day, when I'm dealing with companies, they ask all these questions. They want tons of video demonstrations, pictures. They want to see everything to make sure that they're getting what they're paying for. All right, so let's go request this one. What's the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw that your screen will activate? Now, the reason why Jamie's not responding back and the reason why he's quiet as a church mouse, because Jamie's now on blast. He doesn't know anything that I'm saying to him. He doesn't know how to respond to it. These are basic questions. Someone who gets up on YouTube and talks about how his product is this, that, and the other, and you don't understand anything that I'm saying to you. If everything I'm talking is out of nonsense, then you would be able to basically debunk what I'm saying as a complete lie. And you can't do that because you don't understand what I'm saying. It's like if I was speaking to you in French. But I'm speaking to you in English, and you know English. So therefore, there's no excuses. Now, if you hear that little indicator going off, that's Jamie complaining on our account. That's what he's doing. Instead of him answering us here, he's answering us or basically complaining and crying on our account. This is how he responds. Let's ask him another question. So we know he's active. He's in the room. That little green light right there kind of tells he is. So instead of us answering the questions here, he's ranting and screaming in the other room about us being scammers. All right, let's ask him another question. Let's see. What is the difference between your product and everyday household paints? This is something we request the customers to ask from anybody from the door. You need to know exactly what you are purchasing and buying. What is the difference between your product and everyday household paints? Because what we showed you in the demonstration of his product matching a household paint and him still selling this product directly on his website, this is why the customer needs to ask this question. We'll give him some time to answer back. All right, and now he says plenty of time to insult the website over and scream and carry on the channel, but you can't answer back. All right, let's get to some outdoor. What time of the day does your screen paint fully activate outside? Now, in order to know this test, you have to literally run a projector outside all day to figure exactly when it's going to activate. Then you got that daylight saving time that pops up, and you have to do it on that right there too. Then you have to do it on different caliber projectors. How does it pick up on 1,000? How it picks up on 2,000? Does it work with ultra short throw? Does it work with long throw? The short, you got to go through all that. How does it compare to a white screen? What's the difference? There's a lot that goes on with that. Let's see. I'll send this over. Screen paint. Let's see. Asking him, what is the time and day does your screen paint? What time of the day does your screen paint fully activate outside? Let's send a hello. Are you there? So what does Jamie do when he gets into a situation where a customer is asking him these questions? Is this how he reacts? Or he doesn't say anything at all? What does he do? I asked you a basic, simple question. What is the difference between your product and household paints? What does he do? Can he show us a video demonstration? Can he show us any test demonstrations? Hello, are you there? What the kind of people that Jamie wants at the end of the day are customers that are not going to ask a lot of questions. Customers that he can manipulate and tell them what they think they should hear. That's what he wants. A customer like me is a nightmare for him. And those are people who are going to ask him all the questions that he can't answer back. And I'm showing you this by showing you how he's reacting. If he knew anything about his product, he could come in and he could say something and defend his product, but he can't. And the notifications you're hearing that are going off, that's Jamie screaming and whining and crying on our site right now. Question, how many certified screens have your products been tested against? How many certified screens have your products been tested against? See right here, we got this incorrect. This is screens. Now this is for people who have those deep pockets, because again, at the end of the day, this is a person who basically can go out and spend $20,000, $30,000 for a projection screen, and they're going to ask that question. We get it all the time. Why should I buy your product when I can buy that if I want? It's not going to bother me at the end of the day. But what's the difference? This also too proves the value of the technology. If you can knock out a $5,000 projection screen, then your product's worth quite a lot, which we should be charging a lot more, but we don't. How many certified screens have your products been tested against? Let me see. I haven't asked about projector mapping applications yet, or visual digital effects. Oh, here's a good one. Is your screen paint mixes ambient light rejection? Now, I'm going to ask him, is the screen paint's ambient light rejection? And if he tells me no, then I'm going to ask him, why not? And then I'm going to ask him, as a question, I'm going to ask him, so you're saying that I can use this product in a fully lit environment? Let's see if he lies. I'm also going to ask you about contrast requirements too also. I'm also going to ask you about calibrating. Is your screen paint ambient light rejection? If not, do I have a guarantee that this will work in a fully lit environment without washout or fading? Oh, companies will ask this question right here because they want to know if they're going to put this screen in their environment, is it going to wash out or fade? If you're saying a product is not ambient light rejection, is it going to be to maintain in a fully lit environment? Or should I go with a product that is ambient light rejection? Why should I be buying your product? If you're saying it's not ambient light rejection, what makes it different from a screen that is ambient light rejection? These are questions you have to answer. If not, do I have a guarantee that this will work and work in, put down in, oops, we got caps for that. I don't know why we have caps on that for. In any fully lit environment without washout or fading. These are basic questions. We can't answer them because he knows this product is a lie. You wrote all this stuff up in here. I'm asking you questions up in here. I mean, all these questions. I asked you what's the lowest amount of lumens you can put on your screen outside. You're talking about this product works outside or works with venue projectors. I got one for you. I'm going to ask you what type of venue projectors have your products been tested on. I want to know which ones you've tested on. With different calibers of projectors used. Oh, we got, man, so many ways to go with this one. Boy, we can answer like a dozen questions on this one. Let me see. Okay, so if not, is it a guarantee? It's not giving us a guarantee. Can you give us a guarantee that this is going to work in a fully lit environment? Because he said it's not ambient light rejection. We're asking, is your product ambient light rejection? Is it? We're asking you this question, Jamie. Simple and plain. Yes or no? If it's not, and you say it's not, then we need to know, what do we have a guarantee that it will work in a fully lit environment? And that means in a fully lit environment, you keep in mind, the customer is going to display contrast levels. They're going to display color and white levels. Those contrast levels have to be able to pull. Because if you're telling them they have to be in a controlled environment in order to work that contrast level, that's not going to work too well. Oh, another question we have to ask. Can black levels be maintained in a fully lit environment without ambient light controlled environments? It's one of the questions we get asked all the time. Ambient lit, supposed to be ambient controlled environments. Let's see, ambient light control without, let's see, can a black level be maintained in a fully lit environment without ambient control, with ambient light control? Let's see, ambient. No, wrong choice. Ambient.
Here's the definition of ambient, relating to the immediate surroundings of something.
Yeah, make sure you get those right, because one means one thing, one means another thing. So make sure you know what you're talking about when you basically type that one in. Because if you think like, wait, is he talking about drugs on his website? Yeah, you better make sure you get that one right. All right, let's see. Without, let's see, try to keep this looking a little major. Can black levels be maintained in a fully lit environment without ambient lit controlled environments? Why is it in capital? Sticker for this might drive me nuts. Ambient lit environments. Okay, we basically are just getting from him to measure your living room screen first. Jamie, you said my screen's 110 inches. That screen's not 110 inches. You do know measurements, right? How in the world is that 110? So basically, Jamie believes that the screen that we had, that big screen in the next room, he thinks that's a 110-inch screen. And he thinks the screen we have in here is 90 inches. Nobody, I'm sorry, anybody looking at that screen can tell that's not a 110-inch screen. But moving on, come on, can you answer some of these questions we got in here? Let's see, I asked you, can black levels be maintained in a fully lit environment without ambient light controlled environments? All right, so I know you want to, you're like a Karen. Karens do that. They find one topic and they scream on it over and over and over again. What you're asking at the end of the day is just downright stupid and a waste of time, because again, anyone looking at that screen can clearly see it's not a 110-inch screen. And you thought the screen again we have in here is 90 inches. It's 4 feet by 8 feet. So it's 96 by 48, which makes it 4 feet by 8 feet. And diagonally comes at 106 inches. So you don't know how to measure. I'm not going to argue with somebody who can't measure. Gee whiz. All right, let me see. What's another question we need to ask at the end of the day? Let's see. For some reason, he thinks that brightness control in a projector has something to do with calibrating. No, it doesn't. Man, you don't know anything in this. Oh, okay, let's keep this clean. All right, my goodness, man. What question I'm going to ask him next? So the basic question he should know from the end of the day. All right, here's a good one. What's the difference in the black levels of a basic household screen paint compared to your product? See our videos pop up. Oh, shoot, we got them down. These are the ones we're looking for, too. I told you we got a bunch of videos on our product versus black. We have them. They're right there. We got a list of like 60 of them. Yeah, I forgot. I gotta load these in. At least I know where they're at. Okay, I'm gonna leave this page. I'm gonna save this page right here. These are our demonstrations right here. When I was telling you about, we had these demonstrations, and we made all these different black paints and put them against our screen, and so we did the same demonstrations. Bam! There they are right there. Gee whiz, Jamie, thank you so much. Asking you to answer simple questions. I found my own videos I was looking for. Yeah, this is our products right here we did. Okay, we got to load these all in. All right, cool. Because we got this huge, massive page. I think it's got 30 or 40 videos. We're going to be loading in all our demonstrations on black versus black. Okay, what is the difference in black levels of basic black levels and basic household screen paints? All right, basic household screen paints. Screen paints compared to your product. So what we're asking them is that paints like, like Bear, Silver Screen, Network Grade 7, the great paints they have out there, what's the difference between your product and that? And when it comes to contrast levels, because he made statements in YouTube videos where he claimed that his products actually produce a higher contrast level than any other gray screen paint product. So I would love to see this. So, if you're going to make these statements on YouTube, be careful, because customers will basically call you on it. So let's go and ask him another one again. Let's ask him about this right here. Black levels and basic contrast right there. Now, he's going to keep ranting about the whole measurement of the screen, because that's all he has at the end of the day. But anybody with any common sense can look at the screen and tell that's on 110 inches. But that's all Jamie has left. All right, let's see. What's another one? Oh, okay, we see this a lot in this demonstration. So all the demonstrations we have up here, they're done on the ultra short though projector. We don't see any demonstrations on venues. So we need to know how many venue projectors have your screen paints been tested on? How many? Oh, commercialized. Hold on. How many venue? Oh, I spelled venue wrong. I think so many times. Venue. How many venue? I think it's a V-E-N-U. Venue. Venue projectors. All right, that's right. Because you have to have a lot of demonstrations on the venue projectors. Let me see. Here we go. Venue projectors. Here we go. Boom. How many venue projectors? Because not all venue projectors are the same. Trust me. I've had enough of them. They don't all work the same. How many venue projectors have your reason why we know he doesn't do a lot of venue projectors, because when you do venue projectors, you do them on really big screens. We do a lot of demonstrations of venues outside on big screens to show you know how many projectors we use. And most of the time, we have them inside, we use them inside, but we use them outside for like big displays. So that's another question I have to ask them about what's the biggest screen they ever displayed this product on. Let's see how many, because some people will stick to little small screens because they can get that sharper, brighter image. They won't venture out the big screens because their image would deteriorate more. Let's see how many venue projectors. I should put an S in there. Venue projectors. How many venue projectors have your screen paints? Paints. Paints been tested on. Have your screen paints, let's see how many do you have your screen paints and how many should be how many? Let's see if we go back here a little bit. There we go. There's the rest of my sentence right there. I'm gonna make sure. There we go. So we're asking how many venue projectors has he been tested on? On top of that, I need to add on here to add also biggest screen size on display inside and out. And I got to put that out that you own, because you know they can't go, well, we no, it has to be what you own. And we've done screen sizes of giant calibers of other people's, but this has to be of what you own, of what you have done. It's a little different when you're doing in and out that you own. And for somebody saying, oh, but companies ask this, customers ask, these are random questions that are asked all the time. So when we're doing big displays, the first thing they'll ask is like, what's the biggest screen you've ever displayed on? We'll go, the biggest one we've done was 250 inches. There you go. So you have to have all that on there, because they want to make sure your product is going to work on a screen of the size of that big. Remember, it's a screen that's going to take in a lot of light. All right, display inside or out that you own. We're getting back from him. Check my customers' reviews. Something you don't have. We do have customer reviews. What do you mean we don't have? We do have customer reviews. Your customers. First of all, why are you mentioning your customers' reviews? What I've asked you is not in your customers' reviews at all, period. I asked you simple questions about basically contrast levels. You don't have that. I asked you questions about, we didn't ask you calibration yet. Basically, if your projector can maintain, does it have ambient light projection? What's the difference between your product inside and outside? We asked you a lot of those questions, and you weren't able to answer any of those questions whatsoever. What's the distance throw? None of that. I don't see any of your customers with distance throw. And any of your customers that have screen paint at the end of the day, they've gotten scammed because your product is matching house paint, and again, you don't have any videos showing otherwise. So we're just asking you simple questions. All right, comes something Silent Wake live. Let's talk again about it. First things first, Silent Wake 5 got caught with fake receipts. He got caught committing a fake act on our company, which is now going to bring him into court. This is a fellow who did a demonstration where he got caught with fake receipts, fake email, fake unboxing. So yeah, that's the site. I'm definitely going to go have a conversation with one individual who has a screen paint product matching house paint that's scamming the customers, doesn't know much about his products on his website, can't answer any of the questions that I've asked him, doesn't know math. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, I hate to say it, you probably can't read. I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm pretty sure you can't, because I've seen some pretty crazy stuff on your site. The other fellow got caught, like I said, with the fake receipts, and the other one basically claims to have a stacking system that doesn't even exist. So let's go. I'm not going to entertain you. I'm asking you simple questions. All right, let me see. Let's ask him to try to explain what he has on his site. Can you explain this? Because you're writing this on your site. Oh, wait. Why does all your screen paints say gunmetal? I'm asking you simple questions you should be able to answer. Like, I'm going to go in there and answer questions to a fellow who tried to scam my company and basically doing fake unboxing. That's going to be an honest person to talk to at the end of the day. Yeah, sure. You guys are nothing but the three students. You can't back your products up. Why does all your screen paint say gunmetal? Ask them again. Do you know the colors of your screen paints? Now, I'm asking simple questions. This is how he's reacting back. This is his defense system. Simple questions. We're seeing 3 different versions of gunmetal on his site. What is the difference between them? What makes them so different? Do you know the colors of your screen paints? Simple question. So these are the questions that I asked Jamie. Simple and basic questions that he couldn't basically respond back to. What is the difference in the colors and your screen paints? Hello, you there? Question mark. What is the distance throw on your product in a fully lit environment? No response back. Hello, are you there? Does your screen paint suffer from a narrow viewing cone effect? Yes or no? That's a trick question because basically, it's not a trick question, but if you know projection screens, you would know the right answer behind that one. What is the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw that your screen will activate? No information back. What is the difference between your product and everyday household paints? No reaction. What time in the day does your screen paint fully activate outside? No reaction. Hello, are you there? How many certified screens has your product been tested against? No reaction. If your screen paint is your screen paint mixes ambient light projection? No reaction. If not, if not, do I have a guarantee that this will work in a fully lit environment without washed out or fading? We're going to apply this question again. Now, the reason why we ask this question because Jamie has a habit of opening up doors and windows and claiming his product is some kind of, it works in fully lit environments, it doesn't wash out, it doesn't fade. This is what he's claiming in his demonstrations, but he has posted on his website, it's not ambient light projection. So if you're saying this, is there a guarantee that this is going to work in a fully lit environment without washing out or fading? Now you're telling me to check your customers' reviews. I've seen your customers' reviews. You want to do a comparison of my customers versus yours? Because this is your customer environment. This is the customer environment. Mind you, in all these pictures, he's in the dark. In every single one of them. These are my customers. Oh, sorry about that, people. So my customers outside. Where are your customers? Inside in a dark environment. One of them couldn't even display a proper fireworks display. He had to turn his lights out to get the screen to fire up. Show me one of your customers with a demonstration like this. That's outside. These are customer demonstrations right here. This is the church. We did the demonstration, 1,000-inch screen. This is another demo. Oh my, and we did 1,000 and we were in a dark area. Where are your demonstrations? There's John T displaying the 2.0. There's John T displaying the 2.0. What about this one right here, Jamie? You're sitting in the dark. These are my customers right here in fully lit environments. My customers' demonstrations are better than your actual demonstrations of you selling your product. So there's my customers right there. Don't ever compare my customers to anything you have today. My customers' demonstrations are far more better than yours. Because again, my customers can operate their screens outside because we specialize in ambient light rejection technology. You call yourself having gunmetal? You don't have gunmetal. This is gunmetal technology. That's how gunmetal is supposed to react, not in the dark environments you have it in. And on top of that, your screen, again, is too freaking light for gunmetal. Gunmetal is dark. You don't have gunmetal at all, period. That's gunmetal technology. If you're going to talk about customers, I can bring my customers up with no problem whatsoever. My customers operate in fully lit environments. They go outside with their setups. You don't go out. That's the demonstrations. You guys are always in this dark environment. You want me to go through your customers real quick? But I'm not going to add them into this because it's none of their business at the end of the day. They got to deal with you at the end of the day. I already seen your customers' demonstrations. I saw that screen that you had on the roof with that short throw with one was showing Batman, or who was showing Batman on a piece of plexiglass. That thing was so washed out it wasn't even funny. You could even see the black bars pop up at the bottom because the cinema bars couldn't pull up because the screen was too light. It was just pulling out. It couldn't pull the contrast levels. You know, it's supposed to be cinema bars down there, right? This is our gunmetal technology right here. That technology you're seeing right there beat every single gunmetal certified screen we threw against it. That can take out a gunmetal certified. What about your product? How many gunmetal certified screens have you tested against your gunmetal? Oh, good question to ask. That's another good question to ask while we're at it. Let's go back over and ask that question. Let's see. How many certified gunmetal screens have you tested against your gunmetal screen paint? Perfect example. We have to test. Anytime we have a gunmetal screen, we have to test them against every gunmetal surface we can get our hands on. Oh, look at that. There's our test popping up again. I told you we're all over the place. That's our test going against gunmetal screens right here. That's us. Matter of fact, that's the recent one I just did on our screen. Yeah, this is all us. Where are your tests, Jamie? How come every time when I pull something up with a questionnaire, you never pop up on Google? You don't pop up anywhere. It's just us popping up. I never see Crow tested this. I don't see nothing up there at all, period. It's just us. That shows you haven't tested your products at all, period. I'm going to send you another one. I'm not going to look through those freaking... Look, he's sending me... what are you supposed to be, test demonstrations? Why they're not on the website, Crow? I'm not going to go through your little demonstrations here. If you have test demonstrations, put a test page up and put it up there, and I'll go through your test page. That's how you do it. How many certified gunmetal screens have you tested against your gunmetal paints? Right there. That's all you got to do is answer the questions. I'm going to ask you simple questions. How many have you done against your gunmetal? You're claiming to have gunmetal technology. You do know that a gunmetal technology is already ambient light rejection technology. This is how I know you don't know anything about gunmetal. You have posted on your site that your products are not ambient light rejection. You posted that your Frankenstein is not ambient light rejection. How is that possible? Because most darker screens do have the better capability of producing ambient light rejection technology. So how do you don't have this? What's going on with that? Right here, posted right on your site. You have it under, go to home. You have it right here. And you only have 2 selections. Why? Oh, website is so fake, it's not even funny. Why do you only have 2 selections here? You don't have a shipping policy, how to contact us. You don't know what you're doing. You definitely don't know what you're doing. And you're supposed to have a test and test demonstration page and all that stuff that's supposed to be there. So he has right here that his product is not ambient light rejection. Right there. Now I can see for the lighter grade screen paints, I can see that definitely. That can't be. I know that from the door. But how are you basically saying your product is gunmetal and you're not ambient light rejection? How is that possible? Because darker screens have a better chance of reflecting light than a lighter screen does. But you claim you have gunmetal? I've never ever heard of a gunmetal screen that's not ambient light rejection. Not one. There's no such thing. It's a gunmetal screen that doesn't have ambient light rejection attached to it. The reason why you put that in there because that's a fail safe, just in case if your screen basically washes out, which it probably will wash out in fully lit environments where real gunmetal screens can sit at. Because if you had real gunmetal technology, you would be able to pull up like these screens in here. That's 1,000 lumens. That's 1,000 lumens in a fully lit environment on our technology. You don't know what you're doing at the end of the day. How do you have a gunmetal and it's not ambient light rejection technology? So that tells you right there he doesn't know what he's doing. I've never heard of a gunmetal screen without having ambient light rejection attached to it. Darker screens are the ones that would adapt to it much better because, like I said, they can reflect more light. That's almost as dumb as that theory with Partey and having a screen that has a 1.1. How do you have a black screen with a 1.1? How does that even work? You would never be able to pull up in that environment. It'd be virtually impossible. Your gain's too low, and your screen's black at that. That'd be extremely hard to do. Like I said, you guys are just throwing stuff out there, man. You don't know what y'all doing at the end of the day. That's another question about the Frankenstein. Let's ask some questions about the Frankenstein, because I don't know how that's working out. Question. How does a Frankenstein produce without ambient light rejection in fully lit environments? Let's see. Any screen you look at any screen. Diamond, anything from the Dark Star 9, any one of the screens. Some of the screens have extremely high gain capabilities, but not only that, they are all ambient light rejection technology. So how do you have a screen that's gunmetal and it's not ambient light rejection? Let's see if it says it right there on the site, if it's ambient light or not. Let's see if he has it posted there. Now we're just asking him basic questions, and this is what we're asking him. He's sending a bunch of links. I don't want to see a bunch of links. I'm asking you questions. I need you to answer these questions back. This is what I'm doing. I don't care about your links that you're posting there. Don't care. I'm asking you questions. The whole theory of what we're talking about. Do you know what you're talking about? Do you know your product? That's what we're talking about right here. That's what we're discussing right now. Do you know your own product? Do you know it? And these are basic questions that I'm asking you that you should know. So if you're going to send me a bunch of links, I don't care about your links. I want you to answer the questions that I'm asking you. You should know them. I'm asking you again. The Frankenstein product. How does the Frankenstein product, without ambient light rejection in a fully lit environment, how does it operate? Can you answer that question? Jamie, look, let me explain something to you. When we go to court, they're going to ask you questions. Do you understand? And you're going to answer those questions. You're not going to beat around the bush. You're not going to put hearsay into it. You're going to answer the questions correctly and clearly. That's what you're going to do. Treat it like we're in court. Answer the question. Simple and plain. Now I'm asking you simple questions about your products. The Cinemax, can it produce a 100% contrast as claimed? Cinemax, can it produce a 100% contrast as claimed? Because this is claims he made on the product. This is what we need to see. If you notice when he shows off the Cinemax, he shows off a lot of black levels with the projector up close, trying to give the customer the illusion that this is pulling off a contrast level that dark when actually technically you can't. Let me see. Got a few more questions I got to ask you, man. And you just got to answer the questions. Just answer the questions, simple and plain. I'm asking the Cinemax. I'm asking you questions about your products that you should know how to answer me back on. All right, we're going to ask the question about this. He says his 2 quarts can get up to a 200-inch screen, right? All right, we want to know about this. 2 quarts. All right, 2 quarts, 200-inch screen, because the screen we saw at the church was 150 inches. That wasn't 200 inches. We've had 200 inches here. They're the big, big screens. So let me see what we got here. And if he says he can do this, I want to see that on a rolling. No, it's a waste of time because he's never going to do it anyway. He does anything anyway correctly. Let me see. Oh, no. I want not the 200-inch screen. I want to know lowest amount of lumens. See if he basically knows what his specification sheet says. Lowest amount of lumens that can be used on the Cinemax. I should have asked fully lit environment. I'll ask that in there. Put that next to it already. Fully lit environment. Let's ask this question. Where are we at? Simple questions. I'm asking you, man. Just answer the questions. Okay, so we're asking lowest amount of lumens that can be used on the Cinemax. And I need to put down in a completely fully lit room. Another question I need to ask, he says that the Frankenstein can't be used for home use. He doesn't say why. So we need to ask that question. How come the what happens if you use the Frankenstein for home use? Let's call some of this bull crap they got on this site that they're writing in here. So let's go over to this Frankenstein. Now I asked that because he claims that the Cinemax can pull 100% contrast. We want to know if it can pull contrast in a fluid environment because all the demonstrations I'm seeing are in the dark. So that's a question that needs to be answered. But more than that, this is a question I've been dying to ask. It's about the Frankenstein. The Frankenstein, we need to know on this one. He says it can't be used. Let me see if we get this right. He says, okay, people, this is one of my first. Well, no, that's not true. One of your first to be free. That's not true. Mix I ever created. Yeah, that's definitely a lie. You saw the mix he had, that Metallica, that would be the first. Crow gave his products away for free a long time ago. Okay, used for business and churches, outside venues. It works best with high lumen projectors of 3,500 lumens. This is where you don't know anything about lumen projectors. 35 is not high. My projector, ultra short, though, is 36. I have another projector that's 600 by 800 is 38. High lumen projector would be 5,000 lumens and up. That's what it would be. It would be 35 at all, period. Matter of fact, the PX747 ViewSonic projector is at 3,500 lumens. So no, that's not high. Best quality, I don't recommend. Okay, I don't recommend for home use. I need to know why. I don't recommend for home use. See if you can answer his own, what he wrote in here. I don't recommend for home use. Okay, you said you don't recommend for home use. I don't recommend for home use. And you can see how many you spelled recommend incorrect. You didn't spell that correctly. This is what you have posted for the Frankenstein. Why don't you recommend it for home use? Because I'm curious. I've been dying to answer this question for a while. So let's see why. All right, let me see. Let me see. I gotta correct this crap because this is freaking nonsense in here. I'm gonna leave the way it is. You can't spell for jack. What the freak is this going on here? Look at this crap. Look at the underscores that are popping up like crazy. Gee whiz, man. Got a spelling checker on this thing. We do have spelling checkers on here. I don't recommend for home use unless this is what you have. Let's see what you have. Okay, say okay. Let's see. I don't recommend for home use unless let's see. Make sure we got this correct. What he has here. I don't unless it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Put a question mark. I want to put that whole thing in there. So unless it's up to you, let's put that in there. Unless, let me see, unless, okay. All right, unless it's up to you. Let's see for you, for the Frankenstein, why do you recognize home use? Okay, we're gonna ask him that. So we're asking him why is he specifying that this is not used for home use? He's saying that this is best quality, this is best used for companies, but not for home. So why? So right there, this is what we're asking right there. Best used with high-end projectors. We're also asking about where it says, let's see, I don't recommend. Let's see right here, we pause right there. So you can see right there, where it says, I don't recommend for home use unless it's up to you. Why? Why would you have that in there? Why? What's the reason why? Can you explain that to me? Why? Parte, you lucky you don't have one of these little chat areas in here, because man, I would definitely get on you about that whole 4-screen processing thing. Because I got some questions to ask you at the end of the day. Well, you got a choice, buddy. You answer the questions, or we'll have your stuff down here against the P2. So I'm asking these questions. I asked him right there. What's the difference? How come he's not answering me back on that? Jamie, listen to me. I'm talking to you. I know you can hear me. You're probably in the room right now. You have here on your Frankenstein 1-quart mix here. You have here, I don't recommend for home use unless it's up to you. Why? Why is that not recommend for home use? What would happen if I use that for home use? Asking you a question. Yes. Can you tell us why is this not recommended for home use? Now I told you, see how much he's spamming the account as fast as he can. This is when we hit a nerve. Every time we hit a nerve with Jamie, this is how he reacts. He goes into this hitting the account over and over again. We'll show you the stuff he's screaming and yelling about. He's in there crying. But we'll show you what he's in there crying about. But we're asking him a simple question. These are questions he should be able to answer. If anybody comes to his site and answers these questions to him, he can't respond back. So how is he going to do? He's going to basically just get quiet, not say anything. Is he going to mute this? What's he going to do? I'm asking you questions on your whatever this is. We call it a cheat sheet because it's not a real specification sheet. I asked you, at the end of the day, it says it right there. We have it specified right down the page. I don't recommend for home use unless it's up to you. Question, why can't we use it for home use? All right, let's ask them crystal clear. The Frankenstein, why can we use it? Why can't we? Why can't we? Go back on that one. The Frankenstein screen paint mix. Why can't we use this for home use? And as I was testing the Frankenstein, we've had Frankenstein a couple times here. We did. The Frankenstein screen paint mix. Why can't we use it for home use? If you notice, every time we ask for something, you know, our videos only pop up. You don't see none of Crows. You don't see none of Partes. Their stuff doesn't pop up. It's just our stuff because we do the most testing. That's why. All right, let's ask this question. There's other couple of questions I'm going to ask too. Now, someone's reading through his website and they see that on his website. And they ask him that question. Is this how he's going to respond back to the customer? So I'm going to ask again. Come over here. I'm going to ask again. And I'm going to ask them the same question. I want to know why you can't use it. What's the purpose? Why you can't use it? Or are you just writing stuff in there for the sake of just writing stuff in there and you have no way to explain what you're writing in? So I asked you another question. Simple question. Can you answer, please? Let's see. Can you simple question. I'm asking you. You have it written here on your website. I have a right to ask that question. You say you don't recommend it for home use. Why? What happens if you use for... Oh, I got to ask that question too now. Okay. All right. What happens if you use the Frankenstein for home use? What's the reaction? What happens if you use a Frankenstein for home use? What's the reaction? Simple question. You guys write this stuff in here. So as you can see, we're not getting any response back at all, period. All right, let's move on to something else. Let me see. Let's ask them to explain this mess. This is the shipping policy. We need to ask about this. This has something to do with spring paint. Well, we need to ask this question. And this is incorrect. Gee, yeah, so many misspellings on here. It's not even funny. Oh, it's spelled delivered incorrectly. Yeah, it's a mess. All right. Let's see. Can you explain this policy to your customers? So we're asking them to explain the policy we have with no returns and no refunds. Basically, Crow states on his site that if the item lands on your property, it is yours. And if you open it, there's no refunds or there's nothing at all, period. So what is this policy? I'm not asking you for the link. I'm asking you simple questions. So we didn't come on here to go through links. I'm asking you a simple question. That's it. Jamie, we can see you can't answer none of the questions. You don't even know your own products at the end of the day. This mix is recommended for venue. Okay, let me see. High lumen projectors. Okay, let me see right here. Let's take this product info right here. Let's send this right here. And let's ask them a question about this right here. Oh, gee whiz. He spelled everything wrong in this. What the heck? I didn't even look at that correctly. What the freak is that? I sat there and told you the man can't spell. Did I not say he couldn't spell? We just found he can't read. He probably can read, to put it that way, but he can't basically spell. Gee whiz Louise, man. What the heck is this saying? Recommendations? What are we saying here? You got venue, churches, and freaking business. Oh wow, it's a runoff on sentence going on over here. All right, I'm gonna send it just as it is. Okay, so we need to know. He said this mix is recommended for recommended. I don't know how to say that crap right. What the frick is that? Let's see, for churches, businesses, classrooms with high lumen projectors. High lumen projectors. All right, let's send this over right now. Spelling checker, please. Spelling checker, please. Oh, I already put down spelling checker and the machine didn't spell spelling checker correctly. Spelling checker! Oh, yeah, when I say it right now, it's not right that. Right? Never mind. Spelling check. Oh, never mind. Give me this. Oh, too good. Just making it words. What the heck is that? The whole thing over, please. Thank you. That's how it's spelled, Jamie. Simple fix. All you have to do is take that word. If you're not sure how it's spelled, go in there and get a copy of it, so that way you know how it's spelled. Gee whiz. That's what I said. Usually, lazy. Lazy, very lazy. That just comes from not caring at the end of the day. You don't care about your website. You don't care about, it's easy to do. I show people, you just go in there. My spelling isn't all that great in the day. And I go through freaking, easy way to do a fast spelling checker is to go through freaking Hotmail. Hotmail is really, really crazy on basically, it has a great spelling checker and it's free. So I go in there and I just basically just go in and just whoop an entire page, put it on there, see how many mistakes I made, and then go and fix it. I consider it to be like a bit of a challenge. See how many mistakes I got right, how many mistakes I got wrong, and how many times I got it right. So, you know what I mean? It just takes a couple of minutes to just go in and just do it. But some people are just lazy, don't care, because their websites are just nothing more than a stack of cards. They have no real information. They can't answer any questions at the end of the day, and they really don't care whether or not they spell it correct or not, because again, this is an individual who's selling screen paint products that are matching house paints. Got busted clearly on the video, matching these products, selling these products on his website. You think he's going to put any time and effort into the site? He doesn't care. That's why I'm asking him simple questions. I'm asking him questions on his own products, and he can't even answer them back. Let alone finding all these freaking crazy misspells and bad grammars, capitals in the middle of sentences, run off on sentences. It's insane. And I'm going to leave this one alone right there. It's just too much right there to deal with right now. I asked him already about the difference between his product. He got 3 different products, all named gunmetal. What's the difference? What's between his product and everyday household paints? No response back. We're not getting any response back at all, period. And all he's doing is just commenting on insults. I'm asking you questions, man, on your own site, and you don't even know. Let's see. Let's go over here. You said, let's go over here. I'm going to look at the other thing for the shop we have coming up here. Man, 2.0, 2.0, 2.0. This is a question we need to ask. The 2.0 mix. We need to know the 2.0 and the free screen paint mix, are they the same? Metallica 2.0 screen paint mix. There we go. We tested this product. We had the Metallica 2.0 like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, that's the video right me of me testing this paint. You want to have a lookie? Here we go. Yeah, we had Crows products here. We had Crows. Oh, sorry, we got you people in the wrong section. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Jamie, isn't that you? That's you, ain't it? Yep. Had your product over here. Been there, had it tested. That's the 2.0 right there. Same product you have here. We were to make that product. We made that product several times. As a matter of fact, we took it outside. It failed horribly outside. There's your product right there. And go to your website. And there's your product right there. We had the 2.0. We had the 2.0 multiple times. This wouldn't be our first one. So that's how we first found out it was house paint. It's basically a mixture of black and white paint. And it's the same product that you see in the demonstration of the mixture of the house and white paint titled under the Metallica mix. Kind of quiet, Jimmy. Thought you'd be talking a little more. I'm telling you, for the longest time that Crows products, and that's my black and white paint. Told you. That's what you guys been buying. House paint the entire time. And that video dates back to 2018. This is where we put Crow's Metallica Mix 2.0 against a guy by the name called Pro Screens. He beat Crow's product. There's a test demonstration right there. This product was actually better than Crow's. And much cheaper too, at that. You see how dirty the product looks here? That's Jamie's. See how clean it looks here? That's the other fellow. Jamie's product came out dirtier. See the white levels? That's the Pro HD. That's the product, the paint we bought. And that's Jamie's paint. Came out dirtier. I designed a really good screen paint too. That's Jamie's paint right there. And that's the guy's paint right there. So that guy basically who goes by the name, I think it's Pro HD. Yeah, his product was better than Jamie. It came out nice and clean, high white levels, because you know it's a great paint. It's going to have the contrast, but you had to pull much higher and better white levels. And Jamie's product came out dirty. I'll show you where to buy his product at. There he is right there. $38. And that is for 1 quart. And Jamie wants how much for his product? Yeah, he beat the crap out of Jamie's product. There's his product right there. $48. It's for Blu-ray Solutions. $48. Look at that. Three quarts for $94.95. 118. That's a gallon right there. That's a gallon. A gallon of that product, and Crow wants for a quart? Are you kidding me? I told you, Crow charges too much for his screen paint products. This is a great product that has no testing behind it. Again, matching house paint. This is a product that doesn't show a proper contrast level, has to be in a dark environment. It does the exact same thing as some of the great screen paint products we enter today. This product right here was able to produce a higher white level, and I tested against Crows1176. Now you see how the whatchamacallit, he's speeding up again with the messages. You hear him? Yeah, because we struck a nerve, another nerve. Anytime you hear him start repeating over and over again, send those messages to our account, that's Jamie when we hit a nerve. So this is the fellow we're telling you about, Pro Screens. Sorry, Pro Screens. That's what it is, Pro Screens. We ordered this product, put it against Jamie's paint, and Jamie's paint came out dark, came out dirty. 2 quarts, $69. $10 for shipping. $79 right here. 2 quarts. And Crow's trying to get how much for 1 quart? $95? Yeah, not going to happen. $66.95. Something's missing here. Jamie, where's your paint at? I'm trying to do a price comparison. Where's your screen paint? Is your screen paint in here? Oh, no, wait a minute. Did we miss it? Pretty sure it's got to be in here somewhere. No, it's just his. I see his right there. These are his. That's a gallon. That's his. 3 quarts for $94. And he wants that. No. Where's your paint at, Jamie? I'm not seeing it. Hold on for a minute. Your paint's missing again. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, real quick. Let me say something. Okay, so that's the paint I bought from the guy. Hey, Jamie. Let me look at something real quick. This is when Jamie did all these demonstrations to try to make the 12 look bad, right? You see those orders right there? It's nothing compared to what I'm getting now. This guy by Pro HD. Good paint. Very good. I'm not a big fan of the light gray screen paint products because we do something different, but I have to say his is good. It's really good. And the reason why is because it was able to maintain a fair contrast level, which he did. He was honest. He said fair contrast level, and it produced a higher white level. It was the same color, but it produced a higher white level. Beautifully done. That's why I said that. If we ever get into a field where we have customers that may request a lighter gray screen paint, I'm going to point in this direction right here. It was very well done. Very well done. We didn't have any problems with getting the products over here. There was no confusion, none of that nonsense. We got the containers and everything was sealed nicely, got exactly what we paid for. Guy did a fantastic job. All right. So this is why Jamie's so jealous. We get orders like crazy, but he's so jealous of every little thing. Now we're branching out for contracts now because that's what we're hitting for now, contracts. But yeah, I'm not trying to be rude here, but that's $300 a pop per box. Because at the end of the day, customers know where good screen paint's at. They know where the tested products are at. The products that basically at the end of the day can back it up. I can go in a room at 150 inches, I can display. He can't do that. But this fellow right here, not about me, this fellow right here, his product, when I got it over here, I was really impressed by it. Very impressed with it. This is, yes, a free paint that Jamie gave out. They're trying to charge you money for it at the end of the day. This is the paint that I'm painting on. This is the fellow's paint. It's a really, really light, kind of silvery gray. It's a beautiful color to it. That is Jamie's paint. And it's not white. It's kind of a silvery gray. I don't know how he did it, but it's I'm quite impressed. And he's cheaper than Jamie's product. See how dirty his paint came up? This is Jamie's paint on this side, how dirty it came up. And look how clean the other guy's paint. Crystal clear. White levels were absolutely freaking gorgeous. Did a good job. Did a good job. I don't expect for the technology, what he has to pull heavy contrast. I don't expect that. But I do expect if he's doing a great screen paint, I do expect for him to maintain a certain level of contrast, but those white levels got to be high because that's what the category his technology is in the higher white levels, not in the contrast. When it comes to blacker screens, I expect for those screens to have heavy contrast levels. White levels to be fair, but they want massive heavy contrast levels and they want colors to pop like a piece of candy. Over here, see how dirty Jamie's paint's coming up? Very, very dirty. That's very dirty. Whatever this guy put in there to maintain the contrast levels, it's not black paint. It definitely isn't black paint. Black paint would have that reaction, and gray and when you mix gray paint and or white paint and black paint together, you would have that kind of reaction. This is what would happen. Whatever he has from that is completely different. That's not black paint he has, and he has something in there. We really don't care at the end of the day, and I don't care to find out. But yeah, he's way better than Jamie's product and much cheaper. But I was kind of curious how come we didn't see Jamie's product on eBay, because I couldn't find it up there. And he's far cheaper. Jamie wants to have his product. He wants people to pay him $95. Keep in mind, again, it's a house paint. The Network Gray 773 and all that will match Jamie's paint with no problem. It's not going to match his paint because his paint basically, if it's not matching Jamie's and Jamie's paint can match Network Gray 773, Network Gray 773 is not going to match this. Look at that. Look at that. We'll always go a little bit off topic. Why do you think when Jamie tests his paint, he don't test against anybody else's, he only tests against his own product. He doesn't go and test anybody else's product. He doesn't go in there, goose screen, doesn't do any high certified screens. He only does his product against his own products. One guy on the Linksea, what that screen is called, he did try to do that product, but somebody called him out and put him on blast because he did that demonstration incorrect. You know we did. But at the end of the day, this guy's product pulls a much higher white level than Jamie's paint and much brighter colors. And it's far cheaper. But I'm curious, how come we don't see, we put down projection screen paints. Because I want to compare his price to the other guy's price. All right, here it is, $75. $75 for the 2.0. This is a paint that I showed you at the end of the day that you can make for free. This is his free screen paint product. This is what he's trying to get for saying. Mind you, remember it was 95. Now he drops it down to 75. And then on the website, he still has it for $95. That's a crying shame right there. And this is a fellow who's selling, mind you, we showed you his product much better. This is a fellow right here is selling 3 of these for $94 versus $75 for a product that, again, you can make yourself because it's house paint. We need to ask questions about that. Metallica Mix 2.0. Let me see. Let me got going here? Metallic mix 2.0. I'm going to ask them, is it black and white paint? Because that's what customers need to ask. Is it black and white paint? And if it's not black and white paint, can you show us a test that it's not black and white paint? All right, question about this. Pop this open. Let me see. All right. Questions I ask customers. Make sure you ask these questions. This is just black and white. Ooh, that's me making mistakes now. Can you show me a demonstration of black and white paint versus the Metallica Mix 2.0? All right, that's perfect. Last question you're going to ask. And second last question you're going to ask, which all customers seem to ask anybody who's developing a screen paint. Can you show me test demonstrations on your products? This is something we advise customers to always ask for. Can you show me test demonstrations on your products? Can you show me test demonstrations on your products? And what's the difference between your screen paint products and everyday household gray screen paints? There you see right there, another demonstration popped up. Yeah, that'd be us. Telling people to do these tests and they don't do these tests. This is our doing a demonstration. We actually made a couple gray screen paint products, and we also made his product multiple times. Now again, if they get offensive over this, and we had some basic questions, you couldn't reply back. Only thing Crow could reply back was basically asking about the size of the screen. He didn't answer any of the questions that we asked him. He just basically just kept avoiding them as much as possible. And the last question, what is the difference? There's so much more we need to ask him, but I don't have time for it. What's the difference between your screen paint products and everyday household gray paints? Which would not gray paints? Because it wouldn't be screen paints, it'd be gray paints. So let's give him a chance to answer. Let's go up and show you what we've asked him so far. This is what we've asked Crow from the beginning about his product. We also asked for things on his website. He just wouldn't explain back. We didn't have the cursor carrying on. We just asked him simple questions on his products. That's it. Sent us a bunch of links. But again, like I said, if you can't back his products up to not being house paint, there's no point in basically looking at any of his demonstrations. If he's over talking about why we won't go over and have a conversation with Solid Wake 5, Solid Wake 5 is going to court because Solid Wake 5 messed around and did a fake unboxing on our product by basically producing a fake email, trying to say that he bought his products from our website and basically continue to slander and commit fraud against our company. So he's going to be facing a little bit. He may get a little jail time out of that, but he definitely will be getting sued. So that's why we don't engage with him at the end of the day, because he is going to court. Partey, no one's afraid of him at the end of the day. That's the guy who sits there and talks trash all day long, and again, can't back his products up. I don't need me to go into that one at the end of the day, because again, like I said, this is an individual who also has lied on his website and can't back his products up at the end of the day. That stacking system is crap. That stuff doesn't even work. Can't even show a proper demonstration on what happens if the customer misses one of the steps. Can't go in and basically try to he can't go in and try to problem solve that situation. What if the customer misses a step and goes into a panic and goes, oh shoot, I messed up, I missed a step, what's going to happen, what's the outcome? He can't tell him because he doesn't even know himself. So let me show you what we've asked him. All right, what's the difference in colors? What's the difference in colors in your screen paints? All right, we got a hello. Ask them back again. You there? Nothing comes back. Are you there? Nothing. What's the distance throw on your products in a fully lit environment? Nothing comes back. Hello? Are you there? Nothing at all. Period. Does your screen paint suffer from a narrow viewing cone effect? Yes or no? Nothing comes back yet. What's the lowest amount of lumens in a distance throw that your screen can activate? Nothing comes back yet. We got nothing that comes back yet at all, period. All right, let me see. Oh, I'm sorry about popping the camera to people. What's the lowest amount of lumens in the distance throw? We got that already. What's the difference between your product and everyday household paints? We asked that multiple times. We got nothing back on that at all whatsoever. We got how many certified screens have your products been tested against? We got nothing on that either. Is your screen ambient light projection? No reply. If you're not, do you have any guarantees that this will work in a fully lit environment without the washout or fading? Nothing came back. He goes into a rant. He's just saying measure your living room screen. He's convinced that our living room screen is 110 inches, but you guys figure that one out for yourself. Can your black levels be maintained in a fully lit environment without an ambient light controlled environment? All right, no response there. He doesn't even respond back. It's measuring your living room. He doesn't respond back at all, period. What's the difference in black levels of a basic household screen paint compared to your products? No response back on that one. No more sales for 2023. Okay. Scammer exposed. Okay. How many venue projectors have your screen paints been tested on? No response back. No response back. This is nonsense, but it's not really my bad. To add, also biggest screen size displayed inside and outside you own. Nothing back at all, period. Why does all your screen paint say gunmetal? Nothing back. He doesn't respond back. Do you know the colors of your screen paints? He doesn't respond back at all. Is your screen paint mixes ambient light projection? We had to ask this one twice. If not, do I have any guarantee that this is going to work in a fully lit environment without washout? No response back. Bunch of links, didn't make any sense here. We just asked simple questions. How many certified gunmetal screens have you been tested on your gunmetal screen paints? No reply back. Question: how does a Frankenstein product without ambient light projection work in a fully lit environment? Nothing back yet. The Cinemax, can you produce a 100% contrast as you claim? No response back. Lowest amount of lumens that can be used on the Cinemax? No response back. He should have known that because that was directly on his site. I mean, it was right there. He said 2200, but he didn't know. Second question. I don't recommend, you don't, see this is, I don't recommend for home use unless this is what you have. This was actually posted for his Frankenstein. We asked him the question, what does this mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by you can't use this for home use? Why can't you use it for home use? We come back again, the Frankenstein screen paint mix. Why can't we use this for home use? He wrote this on his site. We're asking him. He's not responding back. Nothing comes back. He says, you're making yourself look like a coward. I don't think I am. I'm asking you simple questions on your site. I ask you simple questions about your products. You can't answer me back on any of this because you don't know your product at the end of the day. Simple questions. Can you tell us why? Because we want to know. You have this on your website. Can you tell me why? What happens if you use the Frankenstein for home use? What happens? What's the reaction? Gentlemen, you can't put stuff on your website that you can't basically back up. If I ask you at the end of the day, you have it right here, you say that you can't use the Frankenstein mix for home use, I'm asking you a simple question. Why can't I use it for home use? What's the reaction? What's the problem? What happens if I do this? You're giving somebody use at your own risk, then what's the risk? What's going to happen if I do this? Can you give me an answer on this? And if you can't give me an answer on this, that means there is no risk at all. It's just regular house paint. It's not going to have any problems at all whatsoever. But this is what he has it right here. This is the question I asked you. You wrote it right there on your site. I don't recommend for your home use unless it's up to you. So I asked you a simple question. Why can't I use it for home use? What is the reaction if I use it for home use? You wrote this. This is on your site. So I'm asking you the question. If you got to come back with all these, that doesn't make any sense with links and go watch this and go watch that. I want you to do that. Why am I going to watch this? I ask you a simple question. Any customer who comes in and questions you on that, what are you going to tell them at the end of the day? You're going to send them a bunch of links or give them a smoke screen or don't respond back to them? You wrote it. This is the reason why I tell you guys at the end of the day, question these sites. Because a lot of people write a whole bunch of nonsense on here to make themselves look like they know something when they don't know anything at all. He literally couldn't respond back to something I asked him about his site. I'm going to ask you again about this. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to ask you again about this right here. I want to know why we can't use this. What's the reaction if we use this? And if you tell us a reaction why, can you show us a video why? Can you give us a tutorial video? What happens if you use the Frankenstein with everyday home use? What happens? So I'm going to ask you again. This is what happens when you get caught up in putting things on your site that's a lie. So the question is, I'm asking him is, what happens? He has it right here that I don't recommend. You're saying you don't recommend for home use. So I'm asking you as a customer, or any other customer is going to ask you, why? What happens if I do use this for home? If you're saying you don't recommend this. And if you're saying, well, it does such and so, then you're going to have to back up what such and so is, or it's considered to be a lie. Can you explain the outcome? See, and this is what I'm talking about. These are cheat sheets that basically they just put anything in there to make the product look like it's something that it's not. Let's wait for him to get there. Whenever he gets there. Now you see the difference between my page, Jamie, and yours? It's gonna blow up and go down. There we go. See the difference between my categories? I know what I'm talking about. I got home, I got a black shop, we got the specialty shop, we got shipping information. My shipping information policy is so big that it's literally bigger than your entire marketplace. All that is involved in a shipping policy. That's why I said they don't know anything. They have the bare minimum written on their site, the bare minimum to squeak by. I even have an entire section of pages back here to themselves on our products. And all our products have test demonstrations, which you guys don't even have. Where's your test demonstrations at? What's the difference between your products and certifieds? We got them right here. What's the difference between your products and black paint, black fabric? Where's it at? We got it right here. More demonstrations versus Dynasty paint with their black magic paint, which I'm not a big fan of the name of it. Demonstrations right there. Demonstrations on more certified screens. Demonstration on more certified screens. Over here, we got white screens and black surfaces versus our technology right here. Window technology, more black on black technology, window technology. What happens if you take a giant black sheet? We'll do the same thing as our screen paints. No, we'll not, because we have the test demonstration right here. What about if we get micro mesh or any kind of tarp mesh? We'll do the same thing as your product. No, it won't, because we have it right there. We have right there several different forms of screen paint, and we also have that nice strip of basically tablecloth. What is your product on 1,000 lumens? We got it right there. What about your demonstrations on 1,000 lumens versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sheets of white paper against your surface? What about a huge certified white screen versus your product? Got it right there. What about your product versus the lumen count? 1,000 lumens versus 5,000 lumens? Got it right there. What about your demonstrations on outside demonstrations? Got it right there. Ultra short though demonstration outside, white surface demonstration outside, ambient light rejection versus a white screen outside, black on black demonstrations versus outside, demonstrations on a white surface outside. How big a screen can you paint? 250, 250, 250. What about ambient light rejection technology? Oh, well, yeah, we got this stuff called ambient light black technology game where we can show our screen sitting up at 106 inches. Jamie, this is the size of a 106-inch screen, so you know your screen size, because apparently you don't. That's my screen sitting up there at 106 inches, tucked away in a doorway. Let me show you how we do it over here. This is how our demonstrations are done. How are yours done? My screens don't sit hidden behind freaking dark corners and all that other nonsense. I got all my lights on in my environment. My screen sits right in the door. You guys wouldn't know what ambient light rejection was if it bit you in the face. What is she showing me at the end of the day? Some dark environment. Again, the reason why I don't look at it is links, because all his links are in the dark. Every demonstration is in the freaking dark. Why would I even waste my time? If you're not matching my demonstrations, why would I waste your time? Show me where. Show me one demonstration anywhere on YouTube of someone matching our demonstrations. Dark corners and all that other nonsense, man. Oh yeah, pish posh. I can even project on a table if I choose. Gray screens and whatever screens we just don't pick up on these at all, period. There you go. That's my environment. I wonder how much light was hitting that screen. What else we got right here? Oh, we got the thank you for watching. There you go. That's a color pattern demonstration. I think we're at 1,000 lumens. Are we at 1,000? No, we're at a full size picture, 1,000 lumens. That's our product versus black mesh, black magic, and the Dynasty black paint, and a strip of black fabric. Where your test at? What's the difference between your product and household paints and fabrics and materials? You don't have any of those tests done because you don't do these tests. And then now I'm going to purchase the P2 and I'm going to crush your freaking screen paint with your own projector. That's going to be pretty embarrassing. And this is going to be the beautiful thing about it is I'm going to watch you cancel out, put the money back in my pocket, and then I'm going to turn around and have my friend order your product, get it down here, and show at the end of the day why it's a huge mistake to touch your stuff at the end of the day. I'm going to use your very own projector to sit there and wipe your product off the face of the planet. That's embarrassing. That's going to be extremely embarrassing. But not before I do that. I'm going to make sure I'm going to give you the opportunity to buy. I'm going to give you the opportunity to take my money, which means I'm going to place an order for your product. So if you cancel, I'm going to put your cancel on a frame right next to that P2 projector to show that not only did that Cinemax cancel out because you can't back it 100%, but we're going to get somebody else to have that product down here on my table. And I will show what happens when you put the Cinemax against a powerful machine like the P2, why it's not worthy to be used on that projector. Like you're not even worthy for a knockoff. You want that embarrassment, you got it. You got to learn to keep my name out of your mouth. That's what you got to do. You have to constantly get embarrassed all the time. I'm getting tired of embarrassing this guy. Fake demonstrations. Products don't even work half the time. Someone house paint the people at the end of the day. Got a nerve to call people scammers. You can't even answer questions on your own screen paint products. If I sit there and talk about a heightener technology, we have a capability to have a black surface that can produce a higher white level than another black surface. Guess what? That's what the black on black demonstrations were done for. Where's your gray versus gray demonstrations? I don't see any of those on there, do I? No, we don't see those. Color swap out change. That's the same nonsense you're running your mouth about when we had the 7s, when we had the 8s, when we had the 12s. Same old nonsense you run your mouth. Oh, no one's going to buy your products. People continue to buy our products, no matter what they buy our products, because we can back our products up. I sure enough can come on here and blow out certified screens left and right, and you guys can't even beat a certified screen. Heck, you can't even get past house paint. You see how that's done, Jamie? Look at that. I get sick and tired of beating the crap. I'm going to crush you in court. I'm going to crush you on that P2 projector. And then I'll show the rest of you on YouTube what that technology, that projector is supposed to look like. I feel sorry for that poor baby. P2 projector not being treated right. It's not being treated right. It's being downsized on all these freaking screen paint products and whatever. Not doing it right at the end of the day. We'll show you how it's done. And then I guarantee you that your customers who bought that crappy screen paint from you on that for the fact that they had the P2 projector and you suggested them, oh, if you want the best of the P2 projector, you buy the Cinemax. I guarantee you I'm going to take your customers from you. Because when they see what my black technology is going to look like on that P2 projector, they'll buy from me and me only. I guarantee you that. You have my word. So, if you have so much faith in your product, Jamie, remember, when I place that order, when that P2 shows up and I place that order for your product, don't cancel out. And you definitely don't want to send us down a product that's fake. Don't do that either, because that shows a sign of basically being a coward and afraid. If you stand behind your product, you will ship me exactly what I paid for. Because if not, I'm still going to get my money back and I'm still going to get your product either way. I see somebody got quiet. He ain't messaging anymore. What are you going to do? Get rid of the P2, sell it? Because that's what you're going to have to do when I get done with that projector. You're literally going to have to sell your P2 and get something else. You ain't got a choice. So look forward to Jamie's P2 being on sale, because when we get done with it, man, if I can make that those $60 under $200 projectors, a 720p look that good, imagine what we're going to do to the P2 when we get our hands on it. And I guarantee it, your customers will be contacting me. at the end of the day. Because we turn off that 2 million to 1 with the freak, what I need that for? We don't need that. It's a crutch at the end of the day. We're definitely not going to be in the dark. For that kind of money, for that machine, I expect to use that thing like a freaking TV. Wait, don't even know a freaking screen size. I can't get any more funnier than that. I had to call a few people up on that one. This joker thought my 150 inch was a 110 inch screen. That's funny. Yeah, it's a 110 inch. Yeah, Jamie, that's a 110 inch screen. Did you know that? Stupid. I had to call somebody idiot at the end of the day. I really do, people. But really, seriously, how dumb can you be? Let me see. Where in the world is I don't like to call people dumb. I really don't. I don't like to call people stupid, but gee whiz. Look at that. See that, Jamie? Look at that. Look. Let me cover the whole screen over with that black surface. Watch this. To show you exactly. We had a customer one time that basically we give out the free blackouts off surface. I might have told y'all this before. We give out the free blackouts off surface. So he decided to send the paint back and keep the black surface because he thought that was going to basically, because he missed the memo. And found out later on that when he tried to watch some demonstration, his screen came out really, really dark. Now you see me taking the scissors and cutting the middle of the screen. Look, Jamie's scared. The minute I talked about buying the P2 projector and buying the screen paint, he's going to cancel out. I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a video ahead of time predicting what's going to happen in the future once the P2 lands here. Jamie's going to cancel the order. He's going to put the money back in my account. That's what's going to happen. That money's going right back in my account. First, he's going to try to sit on the order. Sit on the order means they're trying to ignore that the order went through. And then what's going to happen is we got to call PayPal. We got to light a fire under his feet. So we got to sit there and tell PayPal, look, we want the item. We don't want we want the screen paint, but we don't want the money. And he has 10 days to make sure that the item shows up at our front door. 10 days. Or give us back our money. Jamie's going to choose to give us back our money. And he's going to make up all these Karen excuses. Oh, we don't do this and we don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Then if you don't got to sell to me at the end of the day, I'll contact one of my friends and they'll buy it and ship it to my front door. I'm still going to have your product either way. And then I want to show everybody on YouTube and every player's house, we're going to broadcast to that your screen paint is, we already know it's a scam and a fake, but what the P2 really looks like on your product versus an Alpha 1 or Cinema or what's it going to be? That's going to be embarrassing, isn't it? My projector will not be calibrated. And I'll have my contrast turned off because, again, we don't need it. You may need it, but we don't. Oh, man. I'm going to turn your screen into a white sheet of paper when I get done with it. Can't do that, can you, Jamie? We can. Alexis, what time is it?
It's 3:52 p.m.
3:52. I told you I'm on my screen all day. He thinks this is a 110-inch screen. That's funny. Let's do some tropical fish. Relaxing tropical fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'll take this one right here. Now your screen, Jamie, is probably about 100 inch, 105. That's about 100 inch in that range. And you think for some reason that my screen, my projector, mine sits back 21 feet. How in the world would I be achieving a 110-inch screen with a projector that's sitting back 21 feet? You don't use your brain, man, at the end of the day. The distance throw from where the screen and from the projector at, there's no way in the world that would be 100 inches. Gee whiz. That's why I asked him about distance throw. He couldn't say anything back. You don't even know what distance throw is. So let me show you something to embarrass you even more. My projector is a Christie LWU505. Got one more thing to show you, all right? All right. I'm going to teach Jamie how to use Projector Central, since clearly he doesn't know how to work things in life. Gee, but that's some people do some dumb stuff in my life. Unbelievable. Projector Central. Let's go over here. Let's look up Chrissy, right? Mine's LW 0505. What the heck is a 505? Oh yeah, it's a 505 is mine. All right, this is my projector, Chrissy LW 505. Okay. Now, Jamie went into this rant about how I use only venue projectors. Dude, I ordered over 70 projectors. I have more projectors than you have. At the end of the day, I have just about everything. One of my setups, I had a projector that was a regular home theater projector. It was 600 by 800, 720p. It was 19 feet back from my screen at 127 inches and a bay of windows. Yeah, all right. Let's see. 505, 1920 by 1200. Let's see, screen calculator. Okay, here we go. Distance throw calculator. So let's see, my screen on my projector, what would happen if it was at 100 inches as Jamie claimed? We'll put it in 16:9 because that's what I have before the screen right now. And let's move it up to where, right here, you can see that's the size screen we would have. Let's bring it all the way up and see where we would have to be at for 100 inches. You said 110, right? That's where you said my screen would be at, about 110. All right. All right, so in order for me to get a 110-inch screen, as you claim, 111, we're way over on that one. 110, you said 110, right? That's really going too far. All right, so you said my screen's 110 inches, right? That means my projector would have to sit back 17 feet and 1 inches in order to get 110, and my screen's height would be 54 inches high and 96 inches wide. All right? So let's write that down. All right, Jamie, don't get scared now. You talk too much trash at the end of the day. I'm going to embarrass you real quick. I'm trying to get your product over here. I'm going to crush that too. So let's see. My screen on my Christie projector would be, let me see, 110 inches. You said it is. So it'd be 54 inches high. 54 inches high. And that would make it 96 inches wide. 96 inches wide. And I would have to be back to hit that screen around 17 and 1 inch. So 17 feet, I would have to be back 17 feet and 1 inch. All right, let's go see. That's my distance throw where my projector will have to be at. That is the height, 54 inches, and the screen would have to be 96 inches wide to have a 110, which is measured this way. So you know, Jamie, how that works. So let's have a little fun here. Let's see if my screen in the next room. Next time you get on camera and you run your mouse You run your mouth, Jamie. About the size of a screen. Keep in mind, the size of a screen also too measures by the distance on how far the projector is set from the screen. So if my screen is 110, as you said, I should be around 17 feet away from my screen, which means my living room with my projector sitting in the window would only be about 17 feet wide or 17 feet long. So let's see about that, okay? Let me go measuring tape here. There we go. Now, let's see if this is possible. How are we achieving? Maybe we have a 100-inch screen. Maybe Jamie's right. So I gotta be somewhere around 17 feet back from my screen. We said it would be, I would be what? 54 inches high. It's something you can't do with your screen paint. Turn lights on. But we'll show you on ours. Scratch it, man. Scratch it, scratch it! So let's see. We would have to be back 17 feet to 100 inch. That's 17 feet right there. My projector sits back over here. Now, we would have to be, because we're nowhere near 21 feet where my projector's sitting at. Now we got to be at 54 in height for the screen to be a 100 inch. So let's see where that comes off at. Taco, if you don't leave my freaking measuring tape alone. Well, you don't like this. You don't measuring tape alone. You don't do that. Thank you. Let's see. Don't touch that, leave it alone. You mess with my stuff. Get out of the way. So you said 100 inch, Jamie, so you understand how that works. My screen and width would have to be right there, 96 inches wide for 100 inch screen. Do you see the size of my screen, boy? 137 inches. That's how big my screen is in width. If I was 96, I would be right there at 8 feet. We're a little short from 8 feet, aren't we? So you get that again, get that understanding real quick. You're an idiot. You're definitely an idiot. I want you to look at that again. That's my model number of my projector. I have to be 96 inch in width in order to reach a 110 inch screen on my Chrissy projector. And I got the model of my projector right there. Chrissy LW505 right there. So right here it says that I got to be 17 feet and 1 inch, not even near that. And I have to be, from my screen size to reach 110 inches, as you claimed, 96 inches. I have to be 54 inches high. Do you ever get tired of being such an idiot? I hate to call people dumb. I really do. But you don't give me a choice. You don't give me an option here. You tell me where my screen from here all the way, this would be 96 inches right here, right? Where is that hitting my screen at 96? My screen comes in at 137 inches. Oh man, I was about to call something really bad. He's an idiot. You can't measure. You can't spell. At the end of the day, you know nothing about screen paint products at the end of the day. Jamie, let me tell you something. I could have easily gone here and did this demonstration. Easily, and embarrassed you. But I always wait to do things at the last moment to embarrass you. So that way you get your confidence level through the roof and you think that, oh, he won't do it, he won't do it. Dum-dum. I do 150-inch screens all the time. I've done so many different versions of 150 inches, it's not even funny. So I know how big 150 inches is, in the frame and outside the frame. You have never had 150 inch in your house, 235.1, none of them. I had 235 at 138, I had them at 113, I had 158, I had 178 in 235.1s. You've never had any of those. I know what a screen measurement is. You don't. If you literally think that this giant screen right here is 110 inches, you're not a smart person at the end of the day. 96 inches, please. I know that for a fact because when I went in to measure, anytime I put a screen in, the first thing I said is, let's get the measuring tape so we know it's going to fit. So I know what size screen I have in here. You've had the same 100-inch screen since day one. I knew this jerk was going to get up there and try to say that me and him got the same size screen. What are you smoking at the end of the day? My screen I have in the next room is bigger than your screen. You thought that screen, he thinks that screen in the next room was a 90. He thought it was a 90-inch screen. Yeah, you definitely smoking something. So 54 is what I would need in order to make a 100-inch screen of what we got here, right? 54. Let's see if we get to 54. It'll be 54 inches, right? All right. That's 54 inches right there. All right? You feeling stupid, Jamie? You should. I do this stuff at the last minute because it's fun. You can't measure. You don't know math. You don't know how many quarts go into a gallon. Your products at the end of the day are nothing more than house paint. You couldn't explain simple questions that I asked you about your products You still haven't told me why the Frankenstein can only use for home use and can't, for business use and can't be used for home use. You have fake ambient light projection environments, use an overpowered projector, fake contrast levels. Do I need to go anymore? And then I embarrass you at the last minute. I say the best for last. You really thought my screen here was 110 inches. Gee whiz. Not even close. 54 inches, right there. Hold on. Sucks to be you. Next time you want to challenge me on knowledge, man, crack a dictionary. I don't like to be rude to people at the end of the day, and I don't. But Jamie's an idiot. He's definitely an idiot. Definitely a complete idiot. And he thought this screen right here was 90 inches. You can't measure. And you're going to call yourself a professional in the field? Are you really serious? You're going to call yourself a professional in the field and you can't measure? How do you not? That's even worse now. That's even worse. It's bad enough that you don't know how many quarts go into a gallon, but now you don't know the official measurements of you don't know the difference between 150 inch when you look at the screen? Gee whiz. I can tell 150 when I look at it. I've done enough of them. That's why. That's why I knew for a fact that when you sat there and you claimed that you were doing a 200-inch screen for the church, that was a lie. That wasn't a 200-inch screen. That screen was 150 inches. I can look at that and see that. You see that? I'm adjusting my stand real quick. Sorry about that. See how embarrassing that was for you, man? What did you gain off today? What did you get out of that today? Nothing. You got embarrassed today. That's what happened to you today. Came on camera, started talking a whole lot of trash, and what happened? You didn't answer none of the questions I asked you about your product. You couldn't answer one thing about that. You couldn't give me the answers about your own freaking website. That is your own freaking website, your own information. You couldn't give me anything on that at all, period. I asked you questions about things you wrote on your own website. I asked you things about things you should have on your website. These are questions that customers and people in the business field are going to ask you at the end of the day. They're sure enough, if you go to a forum site, they're definitely going to ask what's the difference between your product and house paint. That's definitely going to come up. What are you going to do? You're going to get mad? You're going to spam somebody's mail at the end of the day and run away? That's what you're going to do? You didn't answer any of those questions professionally at the end of the day. Sending me a bunch of I don't care to see about. I've seen your demonstrations. They're trash. We go on there, we watch demonstrations of you on camera, showing off receipts, matching house paint in the day on 3 different levels, and still selling that same cheap, crappy paint on your website, scamming more customers as you go along. Got a nerd that got the 2.0 up there, and that's a product that you make for free. Lied on your Frankenstein by saying, oh, it's the first screen paint ever created. No, man, you don't even know your own freaking history. If that was a screen paint that you sat there and said it was your first, then it would have been free, because your first screen paint's for free. That's why there's a video up there showing you making the product for free. Gee, I swear, I think at the end of the day, man, you got the equivalence of a freaking tin can with a single penny. Where do you come off with this stuff at the end of the day? You and freaking Partage just making it up as you go along. That's what y'all doing. And they got a nerd to say something about Solid Wake 5. That's another idiot at the end of the day, who wasn't even smart enough when he basically tried to make the receipt make an email that actually existed. This joker goes and makes an email that doesn't even exist, doesn't even come up anywhere in freaking Hotmail's database, and that's the email we don't even use. And then you can see multiple mistakes all over the receipts, where I know at the end of the day that no computer system typed that crap up at the end of the day. And then got a nerd to take his face right next to the receipts. That's just as dumb as you see people on freaking Facebook who rob banks using their employee uniform with their employee badge next to it and sitting there taking a picture with all the money. Oh, he works at so and so and so with all his information right there. That's literally what that dumb just did. Gee whiz. Good gracious, man. It's literally like dealing with the Three Stooges. That's what it is. Partey running around in his backyard talking about, oh, he canceled. Like, man, I made this guy cancel out so badly. Partey got embarrassed so bad. And the cancellation, did you know that I used the same $160 to buy all his screen paints? He put that money back in my account so fast that I never had to take extra money out of my pocket to pay for his rest of his screen paints. That's how fast the money transferred back to my account. The same $160 to buy all your products, and including your sample sheets, which you don't have anymore. You were too afraid to send me your product that you claimed was supposed to be the best of the best. You guys have a horrible record, and here you are right now, crying to my account right now. Just crying. You guys are a joke. At the end of the day, I get sick and tired of questioning. I told you, my main goal is towards certified. You guys don't show me nothing at the end of the day, at all, period. And that one fellow called Pro HD, I liked his product. I really liked his product a lot. But you two, at the end of the day, you guys are jokes. You're nothing more than just jokes at the end of the day. Let me show you this dum-dum. Sits here and sends me this message about my screen being freaking 110. Can you measure at the end of the day? Do you know how to measure? Do you want one of these? I'll send you one of these with a freaking instruction guide on how to measure. Do you know how to measure? Because apparently you don't. Look at, how do you not look at a screen that big and think it's 110 inch? Gee whiz. Let me show you this conversation right here where this guy says I have a 110 inch screen. Something's wrong with you. Seriously, there's something wrong with you. I seriously believe you nod your head back and forth, it would sound like a single penny in a can. I swear. Let's see, 110 inch screen. Let me see what we got going on here. Here we go. Why is your screen 110? You say it's 150. Lies. Your screen is 100. It's not 115. It's 110. We just measured the screen, Crow. It's way bigger than the 110. I asked you what size my screen was. Measure it then on live. Do it now. We are on live. So I measured my screen and I asked you, what size do you think my screen is? And you said 110 inches. Well, we did the measurements of my projector at Projector Central, and 110 inch screen, it's 54 inches high, and 54 inches high doesn't hit the bottom of my screen. Neither does 96 inches hit the width of my screen. My screen comes in at 137. Which shows it adds more to what I just said. You can't basically add. Well, you definitely can't add. How are you doing screens in a day and you can't even add? Yeah, I really believe 100% that your landlord paid you to spray out freaking 8 units in an hour, and you don't even know how many quarts go into a gallon. My goodness, let's find that. Does Crow know math? Where's that video at? Let me just dig it up. Does Crow know math? That's all you gotta do is find it. It's right up there. Does Crow know math? Does Crow know math? Right here. No, Crow, you do not know math. This would explain so much. There's no way in the world you could. This would explain so much. You're in the painting business.
Oh, it's $30, $37 for a quart.
A quart?
No, how much is it per gallon?
How much is per gallon?
2, 4, 6, 8, $88, isn't it?
I'm sorry, man. I try to be professional, but this joker just sat there and said, 2. Where does 2 come in on a gallon, Jamie? I'm sorry. I try to be professional, but gee whiz. Look, man, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Stay in your lane. That's what you need to do. When we go to court, I'm going to clean your clock. I'm going to take everything from you. And when I get to P2, I'm going to destroy your screen even more than what it is. Because you're a liar and you're a fraud. You have no passion, you have no love for this business, and the only thing you do in this business is take and steal from other people. That's what you do. You're a phony and a fake. That's what you are. And you shouldn't be doing this business. If you want to basically call yourself making real screen paint at the end of the day, then basically get rid of that whole crow bird nonsense. Get rid of all that crap. Get rid of all that crap on it and just trash it and rebrand yourself and come out with a product that actually freaking works. Something that you can put screen paints again and test and do actual test demonstrations instead of this nonsense at the end of the day. Because I know you're trying your hardest to try to be the big man, but you're not the big man at the end of the day. And when we go to court, I guarantee you're going to bawl and cry in that courtroom. Because, buddy, you're going to lose everything you got in that courtroom. Things are going to get really real. It's going to be no more that, oh, that's not going to exist in that room. No hearsay. You got to come up with real hardcore evidence. You're going to have to come up with some kind of evidence that means that Mr. Bird of my company gave you permission to use my copyrights without my permission. And if you ain't got that in writing, if you ain't got that agreement from me or anything from me saying this, I'm going to clean your clock, buddy. I'm going to take everything from you in that courtroom. You're going to watch your entire life just disappear in that room. Because I warn people at the end of the day, I have given you more than enough time, my man, to basically go in a different direction. I have warned you so many times and you didn't listen. And now this is real. Jamie got a docket. You know what a docket number is? That's a court number that basically he has a case filed against him. He's going to be going to court soon. And he's going to be right before the judge. And you got to explain to that judge when they're showing all that information we submitted in, you got to basically go before that judge and you have to basically try to convince the judge that everything you did that you were in, you had the right to do it. You had the right to use my copyrighted material without my permission, to slander my work without my permission. You had to basically, you have to prove all that. And if you don't, that's $30,000 per offense. There are no lawyers involved in this. It's just me and you and a judge. That's it. And when they're done with that, as I said before, those emails are all being investigated. We got racial slurs in there in his emails. We got freaking death threats in those emails. We're going to file criminal charges against you next. That one you may want to show up to. Because if not, you're going to get a knock at the door or someone's going to come to your job and put some silver bracelets on you and a bench warrant on your behind. So don't do that nonsense. So I would take that extremely seriously if I were you. Ugh. Now, there's other nonsense, man. If you want to sit there and say, oh, I'm not professional, I'm very professional. The problem is, Jamie, with you, man, you don't know how to know. You don't know your place. You think you could do whatever you want to do, talk trash about anybody. You got the wrong person at the end of the day. The day that you first popped up on my YouTube channel asking me what my products were made of and got upset because I wouldn't give you the ingredients of how my products were designed, and you were upset because you felt that I should be giving my products away for free because you were doing it. That was the worst mistake you ever made in your entire life. As I said before, my friend, you will see my face. And when you see my face, it is going to be the last thing you see. I guarantee you that. I am going to strip everything from you. You're not the first person I'm taking to court and basically took everything from them. I'm going to take everything from you. And I'm going to make sure before you leave that courtroom that we will execute liquidation of judgment, which means I will freeze banking accounts, everything I can get my hands on. Even your income tax is going to go to me. If I got to have a black truck drive up to your house, I'm going to strip that house bare. Everything belongs to me. You will pay me back my money, what you owe me. Because I did not give you permission to use those copyrights at all, period. And anybody else at the end of the day, if you felt the need to use my copyrights without my permission, I will be seeing you soon. As in Partay, and who's the other one? Oh, Silent Wake 5. I might even be taking your girlfriend to court too, because she was a part of that nonsense too, Silent Wake. You will be seeing me soon. See the messages start to pull up? I told you, every time he does that, every time he gets scared, that's when Jamie gets scared. So right now he's spamming my account right now because he's afraid. Oh, Jamie, you calm down. Are you upset and angry? He's mad and upset because he's going to get sued. He touched my copyrights. You've never been touching my copyrights, and nobody gave you permission to touch my stuff. So you're going to get sued for it, and you're going to lose everything for it. Go talk to one of your lawyer friends or one of your fake backyard lawyer friends and ask them exactly, do I have the right to take from you at the end of the day? And they're going to tell you yes. If you went up there and you basically used his copyrights without his permission, he can sue you. Go ahead, find out, ask. All right, let's go back to this right here because Jamie's very upset.
Right?
No.
In
No.
court?
Now, how much is it for a gallon?
How much is for a gallon?
2, 4, 6, 8, $80, you think? Right?
No.
He nodded on it. He literally did a face pump and nodded on it. No, Jamie. Let me explain something to you. Again, I'm tired of talking about this because I'm really tired of talking about this. So I'm getting it in now because the next couple of days I'm going to forget that you even exist because I got things to do. But no, Jamie, when you start off with a gallon, it doesn't start off with 2. That'll be 64 ounces. And then you did a face pump next to it like, Look how angry, he's very upset. Watch this.
This is literally him saying this on camera. I just missed this part. I'm like, wait a minute. Did he just
And for those of you saying about these two going back and forth, there is no back and forth at all, period. So get that straight from the door. Don't ever stick me in the same category as this joker at the end of the day, because I'm not in the same category. My product is tested and backed on so many levels, it's not even funny. It's about this joker at the end of the day trying to be like me. That's what it comes down to. And what it comes down to at the end of the day is this individual right here now is going to show up in court and see what the real world's all about. He's going to get stripped bare when he walks out of that courtroom. He's going to lose everything that belongs to him. At the end of the day, I don't want to hear any crying and whining in the courtroom about how you got a family and this, that, and the other, because at the end of the day, buddy, I don't care. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care. I gave you a court order to back the freak down and don't touch my copyrighted material. I gave you fair warning on July the 21st to stay away from my freaking logos. And you didn't do that. You persisted to go in and slander my work. So now you're going to reap what you sow at the end of the day. I don't want to hear any crying in court about this, because right there, that whole order we sent to you, that eliminates that bull crap from the door. If you crying and whining about how you got to, I don't want to hear it. We gave you enough time to shut your mouth up and mind your business, and you refuse to do it. Big Bad Jamie want to do what he want to do. Now Big Bad Jamie will end up homeless. This man's going to lose everything now for being an idiot. That shows you at the end of the day, you're not even man enough to have a family at the end of the day, because you weren't man enough to shut your mouth up and stay to yourself, make your own screen paints, make your own products, and stay in your own world. Because again, at the end of the day, I couldn't care less what you make, but you kept coming over my fence and you kept running your mouth. So yeah, I had to go over and do what had to be done. Because you feel you can run over anybody you want. You got the wrong person at the end of the day. But you're not even a man enough to have a family. And I'll tell you why. Because a real man at the end of the day would have saw the danger coming toward his family and would have basically turned away from it and walked away. That's what a real man would have did. You didn't do that. You continued to keep backing in and carrying on and acting up, slandering my products, doing fake demonstrations against my products. You kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And the only reason why you weren't sued ahead of time already when the judge asked me, how can you file a lawsuit? Because I was the only one thinking about your family, you jerk. I was the one basically pulling back on the lawsuits that you could have been hit with. Because I knew at the end of the day, your family was going to suffer from that nonsense, but you're too much of an idiot to realize how to be a man at the end of the day. I'm telling you like it is. We're going to go to court, Jamie. It's going to be bad. It's going to be extremely bad for you. This is not a game at the end of the day. This is not YouTube. This is not fun and games. You're going to lose everything because you weren't man enough to listen to the documents, paperwork we sent to you, telling you to back the freak down, mind your own freaking business. You have a family to take care of at the end of the day. Besides all this screen paint stuff that's going on, you got a family to take care of. You got to grow up and act like a man at the end of the day. But you want to keep acting like you're big and bad. You want to keep hopping over the fence. You want to keep doing what you want to do. Now you're about to get bit. That's what's going to happen to you. And I told you, I'm a different person when I walk into court. There is no remorse for you. I have no mercy for you whatsoever. I feel sorry for your family. I really do. If there was a way, possibly, that I could spare them in this ordeal, I would make it so. But unfortunately, there is not. There's nothing I could do now. The paperwork has been filed. It's already set. We are ready to go. You're just going to have to deal with the consequences when they come. chances are you may end up getting a divorce. Because very few women at the end of the day are going to sit there and take that kind of hit at the end of the day and have to suffer because her jerk husband at the end of the day wasn't smart enough to back the freak down when he was told to. That's what pride gets you at the end of the day, people. Pride and ignorance gets you at the end of the day. Can't help you out, my man. I really can't. I already filed. And once I filed, it's on. That's it. All right, we're going to, this other stuff, we don't need to be going back and forth to it. It's unnecessary. I said my piece, what I had to say. This guy don't listen. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's time and test to see how much your wife loves you at the end of the day. Because most women, and I've watched people, when I went to court, one person's getting sued, the other person's going to get hit with it too. You know, get this whole joint custody thing. You don't know how that works, right? And she does something dumb, you pay for it. And you do something dumb, they pay for it. And the whole family pays for it. But you weren't smart enough, man, to sit there and say, well, you know what? This is getting a little out of hand. This guy sent me these court documents over. I need to back down and just chill. And if you had chilled and went about your business, I would have chilled and went about my business, and that was the end of it. But you couldn't do that. You made a mockery of my attorneys. You made a mockery of the documents that were sent to you requesting you to back down. You made a mockery of everything. So now you're going to have to basically explain to your family how you're going to be going through rough times because you're an idiot. And what are you going to do? Turn around and cry about that too? Whine and cry like, oh, Mr. Bird's was a nasty human being because, you know, he could have spared. I did try to spare you, man. I tried to spare you on multiple occasions. I tried to spare you. The last straw wasn't when you went in and took my copyrights and you basically posted them on your site. That was the last straw for me. Everybody got a breaking point, man, and you hit mine. So when we go to court, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to destroy you when we go to court. And I'm not done with you yet. This is just the beginning. You got the ball rolling. I'm going to hit you with post office fraud charges. I'm going to take you to civil court and slam you with another lawsuit for basically going in and touching my copyrights, not just copyrights, but for basically slandering my product, for going in and saying that my company basically sells black paint to customers. I'm going to take you to civil court and I'm going to sue you for another, probably about $250,000, whatever I can get out of you. I don't care if you got nothing left. I'm going to crush you into dust. You started this. Now I'm going to end this for you. Take it any way you want, buddy. I'll see you in court real soon.